If you were born before 1960, I want you to do one thing after this video. Log into your Social Security account and look at your earnings history, because there's a real chance one year is wrong, maybe missing entirely. And if it is, your monthly check is smaller than it should be for the rest of your life. The good news? It's fixable, even if the mistake is decades old. I'm Dan Whitfield. Let me show you exactly how to find it and exactly how to fix it. But stay with me to the end, because there's one rule almost everyone gets wrong, and it's the reason people give up right when their mistake is still completely fixable. Miss that rule, and you leave the money on the table for nothing. First, let me show you how this even happens. 90 seconds. Then I'll show you exactly how to check your own record. Here's something most people never learn until it's too late. Your entire Social Security benefit is built on one thing: your earnings record. The Social Security Administration takes your highest 35 years of earnings, adjusts them for inflation, and runs them through a formula. That number, they call it your primary insurance amount, is what your monthly check is based on. Now here's the problem. Every dollar in that calculation came from a report your employer sent in, sometimes 40, 50 years ago. A lot of those were paper forms, typed by hand, entered by a clerk. And when a name or a Social Security number didn't match up perfectly, that year's earnings didn't get credited to you. It went into a government holding file instead. The government actually has a name for that file. It's called the Earnings Suspense File, and it is enormous. It holds decades of wage reports that were never matched to the right person, going all the way back to 1937. I want to be straight with you about that file because a lot of channels exaggerate it. Most of what's in there isn't money sitting around waiting for you. But here's what matters. The Social Security Administration itself has said that, historically, about 2% of all wage items in a given year don't get matched to the right record. 2%. Across a working life, that's how a year of your earnings quietly goes missing, and nobody calls to tell you. And that's the part that gets me. The system knows it misfiles, but the job of catching it, that falls entirely on you. Let me show you what one missing year actually does with a simple example. And to be clear, this is an illustration, not a real person. Say Margaret worked in 1994, earned a normal year's wages, but her employer's final payroll report never got matched to her record. That single year shows up as a zero. When she files for Social Security, the formula uses a zero where a real number should be. Depending on her earnings, a missing high-earning year can knock her monthly benefit down by somewhere around $65 to $75 a month. Now, $65 a month might not sound like a catastrophe, but that's permanent, every month for the rest of her retirement. Over a 20-year retirement, that one unfixed mistake is roughly $17,000 she never sees, not because she did anything wrong, because nobody told her to open the file and look. Now here's where I have to correct something you may have heard, and this is the rule I promised you at the start, the one almost everyone gets wrong. This is the exact spot where most people give up and leave money on the table. There's a rule that says you have 3 years, 3 months, and 15 days after a tax year to correct your earnings record. After that, technically, the record becomes final. And a lot of people hear that and think, my mistake is from the 1980s, I'm out of luck, why bother? That is not the whole story, and this is the most important thing in this video. The Social Security Administration has clear exceptions to that deadline. If you have proof, an old W-2, a tax return, they can correct your record no matter how old the error is. The deadline does not apply when you can show the wages were really yours, or when the error was the employer's failure to report. In plain English, if you've got the paperwork, the 3-year clock doesn't stop you. People give up for nothing. With a W-2 in hand, a 40-year-old mistake is still fixable. So don't talk yourself out of this because you think it's too old. If you've got the proof, the door is open. Here's exactly how to walk through it. Step 1. Check your earnings record. Go to ssa.gov and log into your My Social Security account. If you've never set one up, it takes about 10 minutes. You'll need your Social Security number and an email address. Once you're in, open your earnings history. It's a year-by-year list of every dollar ever reported under your name. Go through it slowly. You're looking for 3 things. A year that shows 0 when you know you were working. A year where the number is far lower than you actually earned. Or a gap, a year just missing from the timeline. One important note: if a year looks capped at a round number, that's usually not an error. That's the Social Security wage base, the maximum that counts for that year. Don't flag those. Step 2. Gather your documentation. Pull whatever you have for the year that looks wrong. Old W-2s, tax returns, pay stubs. You do not need 40 years of records. You need proof for the specific year you're fixing. And here's a tip most people miss. If you can't find your W-2, you can request a free wage and income transcript from the IRS, and that counts as proof too. Step 3. File the correction. The form is called ssa.gov, Request for Correction of Earnings Record. It's free right on the SSA website. You fill it out, attach copies of your proof, copies never your originals, and sign it. That signature matters. An unsigned form doesn't count as filed, and that's the single most common way people accidentally miss their window. You can also call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213 to start the process, or bring your paperwork into your local office and get a date-stamped receipt. After you file, expect a written acknowledgement within about 30 days and a decision somewhere between 2 and 6 months, depending on whether they have to track down employer records. If they confirm the error and you're owed back benefits, they pay it as a lump sum. So let's bring it together. If you were born before 1960, your benefit was supposed to be built on your 35 best years, recorded correctly. 3 steps protect that. Check your record at ssa.gov. Gather your proof. File form SSA7008. And don't let the 3-year rule scare you off. With documentation, an old mistake is still fixable. One honest caveat, because I'd rather you hear it from me. Not everyone has an error. Most records are correct. This isn't a guarantee there's money waiting for you. It's a 15-minute check to make sure you're not the one person on your street who's been underpaid for a decade without knowing it. That's worth 15 minutes. Here's all I ask: log in today, not next month, today while you're thinking about it. The longer a record sits unchecked, the harder old proof is to find. And send this to one person you love who was born before 1960 and is collecting Social Security right now. One share, 10 seconds.
If their record has even one missing year, you might just put $1,000 a year back in their pocket permanently that Social Security was never going to call them about. That's what this channel is here for. The rules change every year, and nobody explains what it means for your money. I do. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.